What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Codename Scream. I am that horror guy.
And I'm Mel.
And make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications for all things horror. I'm back on that.
Yeah.
Got it. And we are back with more new horror. 2022 has already started off pretty strong with some new horror.
Yes, yeah.
It's a lot stronger than last year. Last year, I was struggling in the beginning of the year. I'm like, there's nothing being released.
Well, I'm just, sad that, all these movies are getting pushed. Like, the Black Phone
got pushed. Yeah, that was sad.
The Devil's Light.
Mm-hmm.
The new Orphan movies.
Yep.
Just all...
There's things that get, where we start off strong, we still have things that should have been here that have been shelved back. But that's okay, because we can have more content for you guys later on down the year. Yeah. But we are starting off this year with another sequel to another major franchise. We started off the year with Scream. Started off the year strong as all hell.
Is this really a sequel? So much time has passed. Are we even in sequel territory?
They claim it's a sequel.
It's a sequel to many years.
Many, many years.
Leatherface, by my calculations, would be 76 years old.
Yes. But what does that mean we're doing today?
We are doing the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which just came out February 18th, which is a few days ago.
Yep. Friday. Last Friday, to be exact.
Yeah.
And it was a Netflix.
It was.
A Netflix joint.
No.
It's like a Spike Lee joint, but I was like, I don't know. I was trying to. There's not a budget box office here, guys, because it's a streaming, and we know how the streaming goes here. I don't have a job when there's streaming involved.
Yeah. There is Rotten
There
Tomatoes.
are Rotten Tomatoes.
And they're not looking so hot.
No, they are not.
We have a critic score of 31% and an audience score of 34%.
It's still pretty high.
Ish.
Yep. So we have Netflix, everybody. So Netflix gets the rights to distribute this new film that's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is now, by my count, the third film in this series called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The only difference being in 1974.
And then we had Texas Chainsaw.
And we had Texas Chainsaw. And now we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's like a trend because we had Scream.
Yep.
Scream 5.
Mm-hmm. And I went into this because we had Fede Alvarez and Rhoda Segues involved, who obviously did the Evil Dead remake, which last video we even talked about. This is the greatest remake that's ever been done. Point blank. And when you get those names in there, you go in there with a certain expectation. This thing went into it to try and do what 2018 Halloween did, to completely retcon anything that's happened since the original from 74. Even in bringing back Sally Hardesty. Not Marilyn Burns, sadly, because Marilyn Burns passed away. Even if she hadn't passed away, she sure as shit would not want to have been in this film. I'm starting off strong, everybody.
Okay, before you get there, didn't you like the Sally?
No.
No?
Not at all. I feel like Wish.com sponsored this entire film.
Was she a Wish Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, yes. She is the Wish Jamie Lee Curtis.
I thought that
big
too.
time. Yeah.
I thought she was a good actress, though, compared to the other acting in the film.
Yeah, compared to the acting that's in that film, by far, yeah, she's great. The whole whopping 5-minute screen time she gets is pretty good.
And I also like the fact that we don't know if she's dead or not.
Yep. Is it Marilyn Burns? Hell no. She kind of looked like her, but that's about all they had going for them. Yeah, we're going right into this. I'm sorry. I've been waiting too long for this. Mel pretty much called it well before we started shooting
I did.
this.
I said you hated this.
And I did. Big time.
So I watched it before him, and he's like, tell me how am I gonna hate it? I'm like, well, I tried to be nice. Yeah. And then I was watching this, I'm like, he's gonna hate this movie.
Yes.
Knew it.
So this is a spoiler-heavy review, everybody. We normally do spoiler-free. We can't not spoil this one because of the angry opinions alone. But when you take a film that is supposed to retcon an entire series, you think that it's going to be amazing because 2018 Halloween set a precedent. Yeah. And now everybody wants to try and get in on that precedent. Problem is, you didn't get any character development in this whatsoever. Leatherface is now in the hands of his mother that owns an orphanage. But now Leatherface is an alter ego. It's not just him as a person, it's his alter ego that gets triggered when his mother dies because the gentrification of a neighborhood in town happens.
I didn't necessarily get that.
That's how I felt. He didn't have a mask on the entire time until it was time for her to die, and then he uses her face.
Well, I feel like he didn't have anyone to kill because there was no one in the town.
But why is he in that town? It's not Newt. It's a completely different town. That's the problem, number one. It's a completely different town from what the original one was.
Yeah, but they're in different towns in some of the other ones too, though.
They are, but this is supposed to be directly from the original. So, one, where was this lady at in the original? Nowhere. No mention of her ever.
Well, they don't talk about, like, imagine how much shit could have happened in that time, though. And if they would have had to go back and explain all that, it would have been a 10-hour movie.
They should have done some type of explanation. They did really good at half-assing character development here.
I didn't necessarily need that explanation.
I would have liked to have had... I would have liked to have... They could have even done it in the opening credits. They could have done an opening credits reel, like Halloween H2O style. Where
I did not like the opening credits. I wasn't a fan of that, them trying to do the same thing that, the original had done. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that.
No, I didn't care for that.
Because it wasn't as cool.
No.
In the original and in the remake. It's so creepy. And this just, it did, and it didn't feel like opening credits in the other one. It just felt like something eerie. Mm-hmm. This just felt like opening credits. It was screaming opening credits.
Oh yeah, it was screaming. And let's take some things where it's good. The gore and the kills were amazing in this.
Yeah.
Like, it started off strong with those kills. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be phenomenal. Like, he breaks a guy's arm and stabs the guy in the neck with his own arm bone.
You know what was the coolest, though, was in the bus. Mm-hmm. It became such a bloodbath. That was sick.
That is where that movie lost me. 100%
I thought it was there. So cool.
Now, where the kills in there were cool, I have a problem. This is where that movie got too modernized too quickly.
Well, yeah, because everyone wouldn't have had their phone out.
Yep. And then the comment of the whole, take another move and you're canceled, bro. But no, that's actually where they lost me at this movie, is right from there. They started to lose me because the mask is the absolute worst mask we've had next to the Next Generation, hands down.
Yeah.
This mask was trash. It did not look like human skin.
It looked like a piece of bologna.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just an awful choice of a mask. The acting in this was just...
I hated the main characters. They just reminded me of the hipsters that I want to...
They also dated the looks of these hipsters. This is about 10 years too late with the ways they were dressed.
I didn't pay any attention.
I paid attention to little things like that. I started to really nitpick this thing about at the bus and moving on.
Okay, well, apparently Perez Hilton over here knows how everyone's supposed to be dressed.
Yeah, didn't care for that. Sally got a whopping 5 minutes. Total.
I liked her, though. I did. I liked her.
First off, she's wrong. I've waited 50 years for this moment. Actually, you've been waiting 48 years. It's not been 50 years yet. So check your facts. Then they boast that it's a 60-year-old Leatherface when they were, talking about this film behind the scenes. And you called that right before we started. 76. There is no way in hell that a man is moving that quickly at 76 years old. Absolutely no way in hell.
Okay, so if it was Michael Myers, I would believe it. Mm-hmm. Because he's invincible, nothing can kill him, not even age.
Yep.
Leatherface has never proven to be that.
No,
he's
never
never proven to be invincible.
No.
He's never, proven that he can cheat death because no one's ever taken a good shot at him.
No. That's what I had a whole issue with this entire thing with that.
That was very, If I could describe this movie in one word, it would be agenda. Uh-huh. There was a political agenda throughout this entire movie that I did not care for whatsoever.
Absolutely.
That's why I was cheering for the redneck guy the whole time. He was cool. He reminded me of an old Texas Chainsaw character.
Yeah, he was the only thing that kind of felt Texas Chainsaw.
And he reminded me of, what's his face in Zombieland.
Oh, Woody Harrelson?
Yeah. That's just what he reminded me of.
I could see that.
I liked him. I liked him and I liked Sally, but other than that, I didn't care for anyone in this movie.
I didn't like the ending either.
So I did, because I hated that chick so much, and I was like, why isn't she dying? Yep. She just needs to die, and then her head came off. And
that was cool. Problem I don't like is, you're telling me you can't hop out of that fucking sunroof? At all? That car was barely moving.
Yeah.
Girl could have jumped out of that sunroof and faced him one more time. And there's no way that dude took 6 buckshots and a chainsaw to the face and survived that. Because to this point, Leatherface was human.
Yeah.
Had always been human. Had never been a supernatural being or had the powers that could, like we just discussed. And that is where they lost me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so angry. Because when you see the names that were involved in this film, I expected God tier level Evil Dead remake. I think we can agree on at least the gore and the kills were good.
Yeah. Oh, that bus scene was so cool. Like, I wish they wouldn't have added the phone thing. Mm-hmm. Because that took me out of it.
Yep.
Because that was such an oversimplification of today's use of technology that it got on my nerves.
Yep.
And it's like, maybe there'd be one dumb idiot filming this, but everyone else would be running for their lives. Yeah. Not just standing there filming this.
That was my thing. Not a single person thought to run away the second that someone started getting axed.
Yeah.
Or chainsawed, I'm sorry. Yeah. And that entire time they're in the bathroom and they just now noticed the window, that could have been noticed right away.
They're also idiots. Have you not noticed that these are two idiots the entire time?
Right.
So maybe they wouldn't have noticed it.
And then, like, no one thought to kick a window out and just jump out during that time until the last one.
Yeah. And they're bus windows, so don't they go down and you can just pop out the top?
Yeah, there's an emergency window for that reason. And then, like, the whole bus thing, he ran at it, and what did you saw the side of it, and that's what the guy stopped for? No, you keep going.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. There was just so much to hate about this. This is like D-grade Halloween 2018.
So, see, I liked it. There's parts of it I didn't like and that I really, really didn't like. The whole political agenda, and like I feel like it was bad casting. But I enjoyed myself when I was watching it, and I did like it better than Halloween Kills.
Blasphemy.
Truth.
No.
At least I wasn't bored out of my gourd the entire time watching this.
No. As somebody that has loved both of those franchises, both of them, this was just a complete disservice, 100%.
And I feel like I'm also not as attached to Texas Chainsaw as you are.
Yes.
Too. So I feel like that makes a difference.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites in the entire world. Favorite franchises, and the first one being one of my favorite horror films of all time.
The first Texas Chainsaw is the first movie I watched in a long time that like still scares me. This didn't scare me.
I went back and watched the original directly after finishing the new one because of how angry I was. I had to be reminded of where it came from.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's still, the original stuck with you. This one sticks with me in a bad way. Not to mention with how much of the agenda and the modernization they did, they have set it to this time period. It'll never leave this time period. Yeah. Period. Like, at all. Because something as simple as being like, you're canceled. Saying something like that. That's lingo going on now.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to go back sometime. Maybe that's something we can do on the podcast and do technology horror that's like dated.
Yes.
Because I think that would be so fun. Like fear.com.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, stuff like that.
One Missed Call.
So funny. One Missed Call. I thought of another one because I was thinking about this the other day. Staying Alive. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
I love that movie so much. Okay,
But anyways, we're pre-planning a podcast right now.
Yeah, excuse us. Don't mind us.
We're doing anything to cleanse the palate of this.
Yeah, it was dated. But I will say that I feel like regardless of whether you like it or not, it's worth watching once.
I'll give you that. You should at least watch it once.
Because it's entertaining.
No. The kills were great. That was it.
Was there ever a time you were bored, though?
The entire time.
Really?
Outside of the kills.
I didn't think it was boring at all.
I was bored out of my mind the entire time.
It's a short movie.
It's a short movie, and then the lack of character development, story, anything. All this did was confuse me.
I just wanted those two chicks to die so badly that when one of them did, I was thrilled.
See, and like for me, it's just... They could have benefited from an extra half hour of this. They could have made this a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. You know what I wish would have happened? He decapitated that one chick, and then I wish he would have thrown the chainsaw, and it would have cut her head off.
Yeah.
And then her body would have fallen into the car. Yeah.
See, that would have been cool.
Yeah, because I wanted them both to die. Like, she was supposed to be the whole, heroine of the movie, and she sucked.
Yeah, this is just not a good final girl choice by any means. And I know why they did it, because they're expecting to get a sequel out of it. I can only hope that is not the case.
I don't think it will. I don't think this will get greenlit for a sequel.
It won't. There's too much flack going against this, because at this point, we're a couple days after most of the reviews have been rolling in. Most of you have probably only seen negative reviews. This is just another one.
I'm like a 51% trash.
I'm at like
49%. It's fine.
I'm at like a 97% trash and 3% really disappointed.
See, that's how I felt about Halloween Kills. So it's the tables have turned.
I was gonna say, now I kind of understand where you feel, but I don't, because Halloween Kills was not even that bad compared to this.
It was a trash movie.
And especially when you look at the extended cut and the alternate ending, even better film, made it much better.
The only cool part is when the guy jumped out the window.
Oh, whatever. No, that whole movie is phenomenal. But, so yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's about all we have to say in regards to this. If you've watched it to this point, please feel free to jump in on the comments below and talk more about it with us. Normally we would be spoiler free. We warned you in the title. I warned you ahead of time. This was spoiler heavy as it gets.
So I knew this week, well, I knew that you hated this movie already, but I knew when you texted me and said that we were going to do a spoiler review that I knew you hated it because you just wanted to talk shit about it. So that's how I knew. That's another reason I knew you hated it.
Yep, I gave myself away pretty big. So, but yeah, let's talk about it more here, guys. You can also reach out to us at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or email. We can talk to you wherever you'd like, if you'd like it. If you like this, better yet, if you like this, let's get some defense down here and see. Please. Mel needs some support here.
I do need some support.
Right now.
But if you say you liked either of those two main characters, I am going to rip you apart in the comments because, like, I don't understand. Like, if I worked somewhere and those two people came into my place of work, I would be like, ew. Like, they're that terrible.
Yeah, they were just not good. Just, yeah. Overall, we're going to keep going. We're just going to keep. So we're going to leave it that way for you guys. Stay tuned. There's some more new horror right around the corner here with you guys. Some we're real excited about, on the other hand. So make sure to stay tuned and keep an eye out for that. And with that being said, scary later, YouTube.